First showing of Mousesports here is a successful one. They kick things off in Dust 2 with a pretty decisive victory, I would say. 13-2 in the first half. A little bit slow to close it out, but still, they looked very good indeed. Fnatic, though, I still stick with my guns on this one. I know it's unpopular opinion, not the most exciting one. I feel like they're going to bring this one back and close it out 2-1. I could see Mousesports in the T side struggling somewhat. They didn't have all of the tactics nailed down. They had holes in their system, and Fnatic, had they started on CT first, might have been able to get a little bit deeper into the game. But Dust 2, I still stand by my opinion. That was a horrible veto choice, and maybe one that should be looked at in the future when you're depending on your opposition. But still, Inferno next chaps. Fnatic played that quite a lot. We don't know anything about the Mousesports side, but from what we just saw, is it going to be a map that suits him, do you think?
Absolutely. Fnatic got battered on Dust 2. I don't think that's going to happen on Inferno. I think that's going to be much fairer, more comfortable ground for them. It's hard for someone like Voxic to abuse an AWP on Inferno, for example. But yeah, I think it's familiar territory for Fnatic, and I think we will see a competitive map. I don't think the previous map was competitive, but this one most certainly should be.
Echo those sentiments down.
So, I think that Karrigan is like one of the best in-game leaders when it comes to running a team effectively with the minimum amount of sort of strats and tactics. As long as the skills there, just working, small setups and just making it more about being like a read-based type of game as opposed to a game that's fully fleshed out with defaults all over the place.
Yeah.
Kind of do it a bit more Na'Vi style in that sense. So I actually think I'm curious how Karrigan is going to impact the squad at this point of their development, because obviously this is not the final form of this Mousesports. So I'm curious, as we have a tactical map on our hands. I have to say, Fnatic are a team, though, on their CT side. They do actually give a bit more space than a lot of other sides tend to. They like to play more passive, and they don't go as aggressive. So that might be a great benefit to Mousesports.
Well, let's find out then, shall we? Mousesports standing the CT side. I think that's actually a massive advantage given the context of this game. They're rushing down towards middle, shooting each other, but Chris J is looking for the headshots of the Ts. He can't connect just yet. They know exactly what's going on. Probably need to fall back at this point. It looks like a Fnatic round all day long unless you find quick kills. He will be taken down as Fnatic completely destroy them here. 5 versus 1. Frozen left with absolutely nothing to say about this. So aggressive from Mousesports. I respect the attempt, but no real damage done. And Frozen,
here comes the ace, Henry.
Just trying to get the ace, it seems.
Here comes the ace. One at a time. There's the first one. No, it was actually... No, maybe next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
So what can be done?
He was close, though. Well, a narrow victory for Fnatic in a pistol round.
I think we see the force by in the second. If anything is to go by from the previous map, and indeed we will. Deagle's, CZ's, Armor, even Voxic's getting stuck in. So there we go. Fully committed. It makes sense on Inferno. You still get a decent buy in round 4, like stronger than you would in the third. So you have a chance of winning this one, and you probably get your AWP out in that 4th round. It's just a different way to approach it. But Inferno, you'll more often than not see this approach, to be honest. Mac-10s and CZs, Mac-10s and UMPs, I should say, actually not that much firepower. This could be a difficult round for them.
Yeah, it's Inferno after all. It's the best map for it. But that said, Fnatic, they should absolutely have a protocol for specifically this round. This is so common. It's such a commonly run strategy from the CT side at this point that you have to have a protocol of how to deal with this kind of a delayed tactic from the TT side. Oh, that's not a bad shot, and that's a big problem. That's a huge problem. 1 minute left, 4 smokes on the CTs. That is terrible, terrifying. Ooh, almost got his gun out in time there.
Yeah, the IKEA pistol takes some assembly, and we'll see the CZ drop at the arch. It's going to be now Rops. And we'll have the Desert Eagle, but he's been phenomenal with this weapon, but it doesn't look like an ideal situation for him. I say that. He does get the 1 kill, but it looks like Crisis has been averted for Fnatic, for now at least. As the bomb is planted, they have decent positioning. A smoke to go towards Library, flashbangs as well. I just don't see a world where Mousesports can do much of this. I believe there's a gap on the right. Not 100% sure. They'll smoke in front either way. Attack together, trying to focus the enemies on the bomb site, but it looks like everything's under control. Frozen, nothing can be done. It'll be 2-0, presumably 3 with the Eco coming in next. The game really begins in round number 4 when the money starts to stabilize. So Fnatic have done it. 2-0 here on Inferno, and Mousesports will just have to sit back and wait. Maybe go for a 5-man stack in B or middle. We'll see what they decide to do.
The smoke's slightly more forward that Mousesports threw would allow him to jump on the bicycle next to Graveyard, which you sometimes see employed on a retake. Not on this occasion, however. So, not much has been invested. Rops has a P250. No more Deagle fun for him, for the time being at least. Triple peak on shorts, perhaps. Oh, okay. This is quite the stack. Seen some madness from FaZe on Arch with a triple peak along the pallet, but this is something different. No one's playing anti-flash, though. They're all facing, and they're all going to phase down mid together. JW won't engage the first one immediately, getting plenty of info. Spotted the last player, continuation spray for him, and the damage is minimized by Fnatic. One play taken out with 5 players peeking. Not too shabby at all.
That's the exact start they wanted. Silenced M4's coming out, just to note that. And a double AWP setup to kick things off. That is going to be a massive plus point for Mousesports going forward of this team. Like, double AWPs are so in fashion right now. Voxic and Chris J, that's quite the formidable combo. Both decorated AWPers and respected. And we'll see if this is enough to get them on the board. It's going to be Voxic peeking towards the T-steps area. Doesn't commit towards second middle or anything. Just wants to get in position. 3 towards B at the start, including Chris J's AWP. The objective eventually would try to get in towards barrels alone and set up. But you might not see that for a few seconds yet as Fnatic focus on mid control.
Arch smoke, Voxic put to a test. He'll pass that one. Karrigan being challenged, the silenced M4. And heads up duels, still has that slow rate of fire. Still difficult to win them sometimes unless you're very, very precise. However, the T's have made their way into CT spawn at the cost of a player, and they go back for a B split late. And it seems like Mousesports are pretty comfortable at the moment. Frozen watching CT, Chris J on the AWP watching down Banana. Now there's only one flashbang and it's on JW, which means that they have to peek Chris J with no grenades. That's going to be tough.
It's a big frag in CT spawn. Chris J needs to deliver. JW and CT spawn won't. Frozen to take him out. Good coordination for Mousesports on the B bomb site for the time being. 4 versus 2. Exist and Crims. They have the bomb. Exist looking for a peek or a flank. Nothing doing. Now, does Crims activate soon and try to pull rotation before his teammate reaches top mid? Indeed, he does. Pre-fire towards Coffins, nothing doing there. Nobody's showing at the back of the site, 19 seconds. Voxic, he's missed his shot, but he has the information. They know where the bomb is, and they're taking Crims out. Voxic will fall, but there are 10 seconds to plant the bomb for Exist or to die. Rops on the other side of double stack. This should be fairly simple, and if he's fast enough, he'll retrieve the AWP as well.
Lovely stuff. Double AWP setup still rings true. And there will be 3 players surviving on the Mousesports side there. As you can see, Fnatic still have enough, but compromise will have to be made. Deagle for Crims sees ever Twist. They will have 3 rifles, however. Crims and Twists, some of your key fraggers there. It'll be difficult for them to do much with the pistols, but we'll see what's available. It's Voxic and Chris J once again. Might be a little bit more confident to face towards T-steps now, reading the money situation. Jumps across, didn't spot anything, happy to re-peek it. And now Chris J with his vision removed. HE there, bounced over towards the balcony position. No one there. Still a nice one to do. If you feel like they might not have armor, but they certainly do this round. Brolan, quiet so far by his standards. Known as the young gunner Sweden, the next star. Yet to see him really deliver in this series so far.
Looking to go for the set piece towards A, but a nice delay. Incendiary coming in there from Voxic, and that's going to slow them down a lot because they want to combine forces, and they're all bunched up in the apartments now. Lots of players here for the Mousesports sides. They got their bearings. There goes the silenced M4. That's fantastic. A triple, the AK collected, and that's it. They have not taken a lick of damage, the CT side. How have they done that?
That's those 5 extra bullets of the silenced M4 coming into full effect there as well. You didn't really see many 3 pieces like that with the 20 bullets. 5 might not sound like an extra bunch, but actually significant. That actually helped him survive that entire process and feel comfortable. So there you go. M4's back, or the silenced one, I should say.
Only Forest you'd see a 3K from,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Or a silenced M4, really. Everyone survives for Mousesports. No harm done. Utility used, that's about it. So they're happy for now. Now they're in a money-making situation, can build some stability. 1, 2, still 5 bullets left after those
So
3.
he would have had exactly enough to kill them all before, but he had a buffer, you know, 5 bullets extra.
Yeah. Error correction. Marvelous stuff. Pistols for Fnatic. Yeah, so it gives you extra margin for error. But ROPs don't need that. 3 HEs for Fnatic. Again, the days where Fox used to play on phase. Always be in that position, never get naded. Well then, oh, Chris Chase missed the first shot, he's had his bell rung, but there are 3 CTs here. Grenades are in the hand of the player on CT. That's Kerrigan, but he's pulled his gun out in time. Now JW with the Honey Badger Desert Eagle. Waiting for his time to strike, or his time to eat lead. Not good for your health. 3-3, score is tied. Fnatic back on the bye. Mousesports have a full buy in the hole thanks to their recent successes. 3 rounds in a row for them. And you can see Fnatic are buying within an inch of their economy. Mousesports 1-0 up after a dominating performance on Dust 2. Looking to do the same and start off well with this new roster. Double ups continue for Woxic and Chris J. One thing we're missing though, from Oscar not being on the team, is shotguns on the CT side.
I suppose so.
He had some wild plays. There was one
Chris
game,
J likes a shotgun as well.
There was one game where they absolutely decimated Virtus Pro, and Oscar went auto shotgun almost the entire CT half and annihilated them with it. It was unreal.
Train or nuke?
It was this map.
It was Inferno, yeah.
Wow, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, he's just running that banana every round, running apartments.
It was insane.
It was that spot where like VP were like so broken, and Mousesports decided just to do ridiculous rushes.
Who is that? Who is that guy from the Flayed Man house in Game of Thrones who liked to torture people? Because that was basically who Oscar was with the shotgun in that game.
Never watched Game of Thrones.
It was that level.
So
you haven't seen it?
didn't like it. Watched the first season. Not my thing. Not a big fan of fantasy. Lord of the Rings, not my thing. I can understand.
I don't watch anime, Henry.
People like it, but just not my thing. So either take it or leave it, James.
Fair enough.
You're leaving it.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember the name.
It's too late now. You got to commentate the round now, Dan.
Got push into B. Goes in, and the nades are pretty good. They're both stuck behind quad. That is not a great position to be by new boxes, but Frozen makes it work for one. Woxic will fall. They know another one's there. He's buying so much time. In comes a teammate. Kerrigan gets himself in there. Frozen's still alive for such a long time, and it falls to a 2 versus 2. I have no idea what the hell just happened. JW will be spotted there. Got to be really cautious, and that is too much. Chris J will not allow that. They're both stuck in the corner. Why is everyone stuck in corners?
Well, what the CTs are trying to do there is, have a player boost at the back. When it all falls apart, you have one peeking and one hidden in the smoke they threw. And at that point, you kill the one in new boxes, you assume you're clear. And it sort of worked out. It was very chaotic, so at least made things confusing for Fnatic there. They win the round, Mousesports, and get the double orb set up. So as far as they're concerned, it was successful. We see Frozen there. He's got a teammate next to him sitting in that smoke as it's all kicking off. Kerrigan comes in to make things a little bit more problematic, and he knows there's a boost going on here. Chris J can rephase it again. Gets hit, ready for the repeat, nails it. And it will be now 4 rounds in a row for the international squad of Mousesports. Double orb set up once again. And it's looking like they're really back on their feet. They'd want the pistol. This would be perfect so far. They down towards T-steps. Does pretty significant damage towards Exist. They're on Deagle, CZ's armor, and basic utility.
That's a solid grenade. All things considered. Desert Eagle for JW. 4 CZ75s. Tech9 not favoured on Fnatic. I recently went back to the 5.7 on the CT side because I want it to work. I used to enjoy it before they nerfed it. I want to find a way to make it work. And therefore I shall experiment.
Ramsey Bolton.
Ramsey Bolton, thank you, Dan. That's basically what it was, just not as graphic. There's no sausage party. Just bananas. Well, the grenades are in, partly. There's smoke. Chris J avoiding the flashbangs. Frozen has so many targets. He's got a lot of problems. We've got support flashes not really helping, however. Chris J needs to back off. He does not want that AWP picked up. No bomb plant looks likely now because that bomb is in no man's land. That's Sniper Alley. And the AWP has been collected, taken away from Chris J. Oh, that should have been a kill, surely. Did see some strafing before he fired the shot, but he still has opportunity to get some untradeable frags. Oh, Brolan, I don't think he's having a good day today. Avoiding all the flashes, but how many times can he go back to the well? That I think, it's not a problem that he missed all the shots and lost the round. It's a problem that I think that's going to hurt his psyche a lot for the rest of this game.
It's one of those ones where you know you're the only one left. Sure, you're not going to win the round. Your whole teammate's watching. They're expecting you to cause some damage, get a little bit closer. The fact he missed 3 shots, they were pretty difficult ones, to be fair. It's just for a player like him who's had a rough series so far, yeah. That's going to get inside his head. He can feel things aren't quite right. Just to reiterate, just joining us, these guys quite literally just got off the plane for China maybe about 10 hours ago. They're going to feel wrecked. They've just had a really rough tournament as well. Things aren't ideal. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but certainly something to bear in mind. And you're against Mousesports, who are certainly their honeymoon period right now. Everyone's eager. Everyone's been grinding the DM. And they'll be hungry to prove themselves, and they've certainly done that on Dust too. Oh, Robs, here's the reload.
Oh wow, he's
Done him.
he kind of owns Brolan there pretty hard, but Crim's was there for the trade. Yeah, definitely a tough experience right now for Fnatic. Good flashbang. Forces Woxic away from the angle. Falls back towards the side as a crossfire with Karrigan in pits. Fnatic will look to try to break this position. They've got the bomb coming up middle as well. Molotov to the back of pits. This is going to be very difficult. Karrigan's position is so sheer, the angle, like a whole 180, but it doesn't even look like it's going to be challenged. Nice stuff coming in from Woxic, spots another one, and a quick trio of kills with the AWP, and that's what you like to see from Mr. Woxic.
That was filthy, by the way. That was next level. Like, it might seem quite clean and concise, but it's just so assertive with his play. It looks like every peek he's making, he knows someone's there. Like, everything's pinpoint accurate, really calm. Well played. That's going to be 6-3 for Mousesports.
Look at the money on their team now.
Yeah, it's getting 5 digits on 3 players almost.
The Orpers have the most money.
Yeah, that's what you want. They're the ones who keep constantly getting their weapons dropped to them. They're recovering. They're winning rounds. They were 3-0 down and find themselves 6-3 up. Boxes this time narrowly misses out on the opening kill.
Fnatic quickly towards top mid. Now it's time to abuse the numbers, or try to. Woxic will make that difficult. He has support as well from Rops in the pit. They will limit the variance with a smoke towards the balcony. Nobody in apartments just yet. Maybe Brolan is, but he's early in boiler, if anything. Can't tell from the radar. There's a gap in that smoke. He may be invited to go around it, but the HEs will welcome them, or a HE from Karrigan. Then a molly behind it. Good area control from Mousesports, but Fnatic are waiting out this utility, so there'll be less to defend with once they go for a push, although maybe there'll be less to push with if these frags come in for Karrigan and Woxic. Woxic caught up top short, and they've taken Arch as well, so now Fnatic trying to abuse the numbers, but they can't get to that AWP because Rops is there, and they're not deep enough on Arch to take him out, but he's aware no one's Arch, so he has to fall back to pit, and now the weapon can be collected. JW exists, they've got 40 seconds. They can still do something with this. Frozen moving into library position, and everything is turning around. What is that movement in the pit? It's a problem for Chris J. Trying to stop the bomb planter. It's a nice shot through the box, down to the 1v1. He knows the last player's in the pit, and it looks like he's going for the hero defuse. Is there an angle for Exist? There isn't an angle, and that's going to be the round.
Oh, you hate to see that. The fact Exist goes down to the P250 as well. It just puts salt in the wound at this point. It's really not ideal. They've lost so many rounds in a row. They still have the loss bonus, and the bomb going down enables them to buy, but there's nothing working out for them. Twist 4 and 7, Brodan 3, Exist 3 and 9. They got 3 players that haven't really arrived on the server as of yet. And Mousesports look very comfortable indeed, and they're stealing away some of these rounds where The one-on-one's actually favoured Fnatic. Rops nade towards T-steps, committing with it as well, mixing things up with a bit of aggression here, and then some. What a shot that is. So accurate, like a laser beam towards the underpass. Exist taking under 21 as well. You've lost your AWPer. It's all just going catastrophically wrong in round number 11. No good signs of life here. It's all very, very bad indeed.
Jay with the AWP on coffins. Also a problem. Quick smoke to CT. That's often a good one to throw just to kind of threaten a push, bait out some nades. But with an AWP on coffins, he almost wants you to peek. He doesn't want you to smoke it off necessarily. Obviously, it could be a contact play through onto the bomb site, but that is something that's just a risk that you take in Mousesports' position right now. And they just hold on to more nades, and they're in such a crazy strong position. Although Woxic will rotate with his AWP towards B, and that leaves only 2 towards A. So that's a misread there from Mousesports, and maybe Fnatic can punish them for it.
Wall of smokes down towards the pit position. Karrigan still has the angle, but doesn't have the kill. That's a big problem now. Although Robs will try to deliver 2 kills, he has bought time for his team to rotate. He's given him a man advantage. Bomb being planted for the player in pit. Those smokes will soon be gone. Preemptive grenades flying in. 3-man retake with 2 AWPs, 2 Molotovs, a smoke. Plenty of flashbangs. What do you smoke, if anything, in this scenario?
In front of the pit would be ideal. We'll see if they get a chance to do it. Very aggressive play here from Twist as Brodan looking towards quad. And he's finding headshots now. He's been slow this game, but that's a very impactful kill. Bouncing a flashbang off the graveyard. Should be a Fnatic round at this point. With the 2 AWPs and the retake, shouldn't really be a chance here. And Brodan takes care of it. That's the best play he's had in this series so far, and what a play it is. They needed that round, and the double AWPs and the retake, certainly a difficult position to be in there. Both of them quite slow as Fnatic committed, and it's going to be 7-4. Robs a good job cleaning up 2 players to actually give them the advantage. I remember Mousesports had a 3-on-2 once the bomb went down, but the AWPs made things very problematic. Money not broken, but it's pretty much there, and Mousesports lose this one. Fnatic are back in the game. Currently sit to 7-4 with JW back on the AWP.
Here goes Chris J for the pick. Misses the shot though. Oh, he's actually gone back in for another one, and in fact Twist did make himself available for it. Got tagged down, but the damage has been traded equally. Now if Mousesports want banana control, they'll have to retake it with the grenades. And doesn't seem like they are interested in doing so. Karrigan will come over, so maybe with Karrigan's presence they can try to do it. And losing it this early on, as the CT feels very uncomfortable. And you can see here, 3 players being kept towards the B-bomb side, whilst the entire rest of the Fnatic team is now about to pressure A. We might just see a repeat of the previous round.
Moving through the flames, top mid. A minute on the clock, still a lurker towards B. Questions to be answered by Mousesports, who have 3 players towards the B-bomb site, so they're being entertained for the time being. Woxic has that nice angle towards the apps once again. His teammates playing anti-flash on the balcony. But there are question marks towards Arch. Maybe that will bring Karrigan back in that direction. Lurker moving away from B. That's Twist. That smoke will isolate any library players. But keep the Arch open, which could suggest a wrap towards the B-bomb site. JW's been patient. Woxic looking for that information. Top mid being punished for it.
There's a smoke towards library. Should be an A commitment coming through. Karrigan has to try and slow them down here, but they're focusing towards that quad side, and Rops just looks so sharp right now. No one can stop him. Oh, what the hell? This kid really is feeling it right now. This is like some of the best CS I've seen Rops play. That's saying something. Like in terms of just how precise and how good the movement is, it really feels like he wants this lineup to work. He wants his individual level to shine, and it's looking great for him.
Rops is one of those players where, like, if he's able to find that consistent peak, he's like a top 8 player in the world. Yeah. Like, he's so smart, so precise, great team player. He has it all.
Yeah, that was wild. Well, there you go. Silence them for in the pits. I think that's a great position to use that weapon in, especially. So you're ducking and weaving between like the broken wall, right inside the pit, on the balcony. You want to kind of have sneaky positions like graveyard as well. So that certainly works out with the new update.
I like that smoke in mid. You would think it would delay Fnatic for fear of a mid push looking towards second mid, but they're focusing on B anyway, looking for a fast round. Chris J taking some shots through the smoke. Frozen to follow up. Hot flash, 2 players being contained. Third is rotating, although now there's only 2 left, and I don't think they've even seen anybody yet. No damage done whatsoever for Mousesports just yet. The Molotov doing some work, but won't really amount to much. Nothing doing for Fnatic in that round whatsoever. It is lights out. Mousesports are playing at the moment. Indeed, Rops seems to be playing to the peak of his abilities at present. Only 1 round for Fnatic from 10, the last 10 rounds.
Yeah, they won the pistol, 3-0 conversion. That was it. They'll take a partial here. CZ's Deagles and Crim's on the UMP. He invests 2,500 into the round. They won't get a whole lot back if they lose this one. So 2,400 on top of his 2K, or 1K I should say, so not ideal. Has to hope that he can find at least a kill with this SMG. He's got a smoke to go with it. Double up setups just seem a bit too powerful for them. It's not even Voxy find the majority of the kills. It's just so stifling for them to get map control. Everywhere they go, they're being pushed back. As they set up the smokes once again, looks like an A-sided approach. No one towards B whatsoever. Just the bomb. Watching the flanks that exist. As they wait for any utility from the CT side. Deagles, most powerful weapon they have in terms of getting those opening picks.
Smokes towards the pit. A burst. Top mid with a flashbang from Twist, and nobody's there. Carrigan taking one in the face. Wondered if he was going to get traded with the numbers game. He was in no man's land. Rops change up his position in the graveyard now. Second frag. Can he get the third? Of course he can. Down to the pistol. 4. Easy for Rops. I think he's got 8 kills in the last 2 rounds, or last 3. The last 2 times they have gone 8, Rops has killed 4 people each time. That's a great shot from JW, but almost the only shot in that round from Fnatic, because Rops. Man like Rops.
Yeah.
Satisfied.
Yeah. I respect the A1. I don't think I've had the A4 equipped for like over a year now.
You basically just played Deagle anyway then.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Okay, quick banana pressure coming in from the Swedes. What's the damage done to JW? Rops once again being a nuisance around the apartments, really slowing down the default with that smoke. Just really trying to get what he can from this. Now falling all the way back. The running will be hurt by Crims, who was able to punish Rops last time. Now that's killed a fair amount of time. It's 1 minute 10 now that he falls back to the site. Fnatic have picked up the deep banana control. But the 2-man setup towards Arch, that might be the X factor in this round that could be either a hindrance or a blessing for Mousesports, depending on how Fnatic play this round out.
Well, they'll set up smokes for B regardless if they use them or not. They sometimes like to throw a player like Crimson by himself to see whether he can find a pick as they get ready towards A. Time really running out though, and they're pretty segregated. I think this is the fake towards middle. They'll fall back towards the B site. Bomb is indeed falling back towards B, so dropping everything they can, and yeah, it's Crims who will be thrown into a position. Hopefully he can make something work here. It's not B this time, but his teammate has gone down. This is so obviously a B side of their attack. Now Chris J will call for the rotations. He's still got a secondary player. They've got the opening pick. It's a 5 versus 3. Flash goes in, Frozen peeks off it, and it just looks so easy for them right now. It's up to the individual skill of Fnatic with 9 seconds remaining to make this round possible. Bomb will be planted. Not even that. 11-4 at half. Mousesports lost the pistol, went down 0-3, and it's still a resounding half from them. Rops finishes on 22 kills and one of his best performances I can think of in the last year. That was absolutely unreal from him. Not much you can do to contain him, and Fnatic need to bounce back. You'll have to find out if they can do it after this break.
With your pretty little lies, with your pretty little lies.
No rest for the wicked. We are back into what seems like a 1v1 in the pistol, and it's going to be Voxic
Surprise!
versus Crims, and we'll see who comes out on top. Mousesports, if they get this one, it's pretty much over. Looks like Crims has done enough, though, and there it is. They will win the pistol. It is going to be Fnatic victory. They've won both pistols now, remember? So whether they'll be able to convert that further is yet to be seen, but for now, they have the lead in the second half. Both pistols is still 11-5. Mousesports have the option to buy up here, but might choose to get the AKs in the third. Time will tell. It's technical timeout, I think, just due to confusion of the halftime break. So, if anything, just delaying things further now. But there we go.
Yeah,
It should be under control.
It's interesting because as dominant as that first half was, Fnatic did get those 4 rounds on the T side. And if Fnatic get rolling when they've picked up the pistol here, you know, it's very possible that they can do the same. It's a map where you can really get some super strong momentum on that CT side. It really just depends on if Mousesports are to play to their strengths and sort of understanding what that looks like. And Karrigan, I do feel like he is the in-game leader to understand how to make this unit work with not having necessarily the detail to their tactics and drills and defaults and all that. So we'll have to see if that is going to be realized. You might want to see some fast plays from them just to eliminate some of the variance. Here's the first play. The timing's not too bad, but somehow ECS survives for quite some time. Did a good job there. Twist to finish it off. And okay, a bomb plant might be on the books now.
This is a bit of a weird round.
Is there a... I don't think there's a smoke.
I don't think Mousesports can win this, just because there'll be a couple of kills here, but still, a little bit too close for comfort. Rops will go for the leap of faith as well, and JW will take him down. 11-6. Mousesports now with the AKs coming through, especially with those extra couple of kills they just found. Kriegs are coming out. Karrigan's going to purchase that. A player that seemed to get better individually once the Orgs and Kriegs started to come into play. It seemed like it actually improved him as an individual. Chad and I, whenever we play, we use the Orgs and the Kriegs ourselves, and we refer to it as the Zimmer frame for the older players. It's like it actually helps you out a little bit. If your aim's not quite there, you can use it as a bit of a crutch. So we've been benefiting from that. So maybe some of the guys...
Stay away from the A1. That's the...
Yeah, so the guys who maybe not necessarily on form might feel more comfortable with the scope backup.
Ooh, deep nades coming in.
Very deep in the second one.
Some chunks taken from Voxic. I like the staggered grenades. It makes a lot of sense. You know, you back away when you hit one coming, and you retake your position. Oh, there's the next one. So it's a lot of fun. We've seen in the pro level better and better understanding of how to use HE grenades, and the staggered timings for them has been very effective. All right, so top mid taken by Mousesports. Not too much in the way of utility left here now for Fnatic. So they are playing very passively. Forward towards that A-bomb site. Exist cannot die. And he doesn't have a smoke. So if they do decide, here is a deep flash for Exist's position. Oh, well, actually, no. Maybe, I think someone else threw the flash bang. Either way, Exist has to book it, but he doesn't have a smoke grenade. That's a problem. He's alone on the bomb site. Can JW get there in time?
3-5 from Karrigan, trade from Frozen, trade from JW through the smoke. 4 versus 3, man advantage for Fnatic as the bomb attempts to get planted. We've got a player moving through the smoke in JW, trying to do something, just absorbing bullets, 13 HP. We've got a flank from Rops, but can they delay enough? They don't have any more grenades. A flash from Frozen, that's just it.
Yeah.
Rops moving through CT now, fast as he can. Unlikely to get heard. There's the first one, trying to delay, looking for max value, but JW spots him. And Chris J now versus 2 will be taken out from the coffins. And that's another round for Fnatic.
It all came down to that flank from Rops. Had he been a little bit quieter, could have got away with 2 kills there. Even though he was detected, still got the 1 kill. It was a nice crossfire from Frozen and Chris J there, but unable to fend off the angry Fnatic retake. It will be 11-7. And with that round being so close, I dare say Mousesports buy into this one again. Apparently not, though. Rops will be opting for a deagle instead, so he'll go for the partial. Mac 10 for Karrigan. Won't be too much of a punish, though, because there's actually plenty of helmets on the CT side. He's actually maybe spent a bit too much cash there, but we'll see.
I kind of like it. I like the Mac 10. Sometimes as the first man in. If you get that awkward timing versus the CT, where you're able to push and sort of spray into them. Sometimes you get pushed in a way by Mac-10 that you can't get pushed by other guns.
Yeah.
And so it can sometimes work out nicely, but we'll see if they can put him in a position to do that. JW trying to shift the smoke there, create a gap. Spraying through. Now that's an open invitation to get pushed. And there is that Mac-10, goes for the wide peak with it, the running gun. It's not successful.
Certainly not. Didn't work out for him. Maximum loss bonus next round. So they should be fine still with this partial buy. We'll see Chris J with just a CZ here. Some damage done, but that is about it.
It's becoming doable for Fnatic. Looked difficult on the first half, but if they can also have a CT dominant round, then game on.
It's the same story really with Dust 2. If you remember, it was 13-2 in the first half. They switch over to the T-Forces, and all of a sudden things get a little bit problematic. Like, yes, they're very, very good individually. CT side, play your position, CT shots, coordinate well, throw in some aggression. T side, it's a different story. So it's lucky they've given themselves a decent bet of rounds, but losing both pistols and the 4-0 conversion in the second especially does not bode well. Fnatic can bring this right back potentially. We will see if a third map is on the cards. And that's definitely still up in the air. Mousesports aren't close to finishing this one out. Orb for Voxic on the T side. Carrigan once again. AK's around in full force. See Carrigan, after investing in the Mac-10, doesn't have everything he needs, but he's got pretty much everything. Got the smoke, Molotov, no flashes. Would have had those without the heavy investment previously. Not the end of the world. He has the bare necessities at least. As the incendiary comes in, Voxic, oh, it's very brave to even challenge through that. He'll go back to the corner, nail the headshot. Does he survive the barrage? If a grenade comes in towards logs now, he's done for, but the HE is bounced from first oranges, so he can get out.
See how much mileage we can get from Voxic and the AWP on the T side of Inferno. Always interesting to see the different players on T side Inferno using the AWP and what they can get from it. Very talented man. Carrigan, not sure if anybody's behind the pillar or not. Pop flash on Banana. Chris J will hear that and he will know that Fnatic think no one is Banana and they will rotate, but he won't make a play towards B. Maybe they'll just speed up towards A. There's only one person A at the moment. So they need to get a move on Mousesports and identify this. And it's a full rotation from B with just under a minute on the clock. This is a hard read from Fnatic and they're not wrong about it. There's no gap in that smoke in the library position. Brolan in the pit. There's two players coming out. There's one, there's two. Robs will eventually trade, but now it's just Robs and Carrigan versus three players. Going for a double stack plant. Robs is out in the open. Only good for the one kill. Carrigan's got to find two. The Krieg! Massive damage! Moving around the Molotov. Doesn't know where JW is. 18 HP. JW cannot make a mistake. Holding an angle. He knows Carrigan isn't in the pit. He can hold the line for a cross, but there is no cross.
He's being very patient, isn't he? He's got a Molotov and a flash. Carrigan's got all the way to the apartment. He is certain on holding this angle.
This is the most, with that plant, this is the most favorable position unless there's a smoke / Molotov to deny you.
Oh.
And that's the problem with that. That's the only problem with that position. But Carrigan had the HP to tank it and JW looked away. Brilliantly played by Carrigan. Even if you know someone's standing there, it's very difficult to deal with it.
I think JW must have got incorrect information. He must have been told at this point, like he hadn't crossed. I'm not sure why he would assume he's coming back towards the side because they didn't actually have that information. But still, Molotov down. I thought that was a pretty good chance, but there was no time left. Had he dropped the Molotov with 10 seconds remaining and then could have gone for the defuse, baited him out, killed him, that would have been enough, but he just left himself no time, unfortunately. So there we go. Mousesports win, but only with one player surviving. So it's still fine for Fnatic, getting plenty of cash. Twist will be pushed back. Remember, he's the main AWP on Inferno. We mentioned that earlier. So most of the time he'll have this on the CT side, but now he misses out on the kill there. Timing a little bit off as they drop a little bit too much utility now. Twist left with nothing on that side of the map. And he'll be joined by Exist, who has one smoke remaining. So that's all they have.
No response to the flash from JW. An exchange of smoke grenades, and Fnatic will hold control of the top of mid. Brolan and Exist still have smoke grenades, but there's a frag through the smoke. Not so favourable. JW will just show some presence. Top mid is not for free. Another preemptive flashbang. We'll delay for a time. Now, at this point, Fnatic have used all of their smoke grenades. 50 seconds on the clock. No lurker towards B for Mousesports. Although Carrigan and Chris J seem to be moving backwards. And maybe Rops will just be holding rotation. Looking for a peek from double stack. All quiet. 2 CTs per site. Now he comes, spots 2 of the players. So worst case scenario now, Mousesports are 4 versus 2 on the B bomb site. That's what they know.
Yeah, Rob's position, he has to take a gamble with the spots that he peaks, and the gamble failed.
They have no flashes, by the way. So yeah, guaranteed kills.
Woxic though, he picks up 1. Can he find the next? Yes! And there might just be a chance. And here he goes. Can he get the gun out in time? Oh, the crouch actually works out to cover. And now he can fall back. The 1 versus 2, the AWP post plant. 7 bullets left for him to fire before reload. That's good enough. Another one picked off. And now it's just down to Brolan. Can he do it against Woxic? He knows exactly where he's coming from, but Brolan gets it anyway. You thought Woxic had it. You thought it was guaranteed. He got so close.
Yeah.
And it was the final, perhaps easiest hurdle, but it just couldn't be surmounted this time. An important round for Fnatic.
Just what the doctor ordered for Brolan, for sure. In terms of confidence, the way these 2 maps have been going so far.
Yep.
To have his whole team get wrecked by Woxic of all people, and then win the round out, that's super important for his confidence. So that's fantastic timing from him. And I mean, Woxic is getting more out of the AWP on the T side than you normally see, which is pretty cool. But the skill required is pretty high. Mousesports with a 3-round lead at the moment, although they have only won 1 round from 6 in this half so far. And we see, of course, they get more money, not that $1,400 reset. Gaben is more kind. So let's see how it goes. The Krieg is out for Chris J. 4 AK-47s. Crim's of an MP9. His implementation will be interesting on that one. Perhaps a pot flash play on the corner might be the best bet if Mousesports make it up top of Banana.
This is a very, very important round. Crim's running the gauntlet down Banana, and JW has had his clock cleaned at the top of middle. That is pretty unreal from Woxic. No AWP, no problem. He gets the first headshot, but we have got a player snuck in towards the log. That's Crim's on 70 HP. And they're capitalizing. They're trying to get through and deny any potential. They're all being recovered here. Carrigan, assertive play towards the bomb side, but he's got to account for the pip. Kills coming in left, right, and center to 4 versus 2. We know Crim's is already at the bottom, and his teammate not much closer. He's just coming through the arch now, so this is incredibly difficult. Crim's with just the SMG. Crim's will have to wait for Exist, who's currently on top of a pallet in arch.
Really tough situation. I don't know how they unlock this one. Crims perhaps could try to throw out a flashbang, but then he will give away his position. But he's going to get a free kill from Robs there. Obviously, though, still can't go for it. Too many players on the site. Robs KZing his way up to the apartments. We know him to be quite the movement god.
Zed, Dan, you're English. Zed.
You're English.
Zed. I like the flash from Carrigan. Moving up short, he flashed past double stack towards Graveyard, so if somebody's on the site, they'll eat the flashbang if they face him. Didn't quite work out on this occasion, but the idea was good. There we are, 13-9. Only the second round in this half won by Mousesports.
Ooh, not a good situation to be in.
For Fnatic, for
yeah,
sure.
This is rough. They're going to have to buy it.
Yeah. This is, let's see what they run away with. Some guns were on the floor. 2 French guns are out to FAMAS. Can find a French military wielding those in France. Fnatic looking for double figures. Experiencing plenty of hardship. Close quarters in Boiler. Crim's got to look the right way at the right time, but still, the Mac-10 will win out on this occasion. Brolan, can he get 2 from this position? There's the first one. Pushing the apps now. He's got 6 bullets, and he's just getting out there. JW trying to deliver. Does Brolan go back to help him? Twist is getting kills in the meantime. How are they making this work? Man advantage. Oh, he ran out of bullets. Tried to go for the knife, but it just wasn't time. Rops versus 2. The Graveyard position will be enough. A fast-moving round. Fnatic, the beneficiary.
Somehow, some way, they make it work. A FAMAS, some CZs, that's about it. And a fast approach from Mousesports comes back to bite them. They are going to purchase up Deagles and an AK for Carrigan. It looks like they are going for it. So 2 AKs now, and this is the moment where the game could be decided. Mousesports pick this one up. There'll be almost nothing left for Fnatic to try and get back into this game, so a very important one here. JW back on the sniper. Remember, he got absolutely wrecked before. As he flashes towards middle this time, a lot more successful. Gets one back on Voxic there. 5 versus 4, AK removed.
Plenty of time, though, for Mousesports to find a way back in. But Fnatic, they're not going to give up that utility without some pressure. And if Mousesports, considering how little utility they have, wait too long to have the appropriate pressure, and it's like 30, 40 seconds left, and Fnatic still have a bunch of smokes they're hanging on to, Molotovs and flashbangs, then problems will be at hand. But Mousesports decide that they will, in fact, go towards this B-bomb site and just try to make it work. And that's not a bad decision, considering how little utility they have. Smoke for CT. Smoke for coffins as well, available. And here they go.
Maybe a smoke push, maybe not. Bomb is down at the front of the site. Chris Jane Rops remain, and it's their turn to suffer the consequences of a strong CT side. 4 versus 2. There can be flashes from CT. There's the first one. More grenades flying through. Chris J stuck at first oranges, 23 HP, trying to escape. Moving back towards a dark position. He has some kind of crossfire. Doesn't last very long though. Rops can't answer that back for that one. 1 kill for him, 3 more to find. Trying to be as efficient as possible, but there are too many targets. Fnatic move to 11.
There it is. We said that was the most important round so far. Fnatic have managed to keep themselves in the running here. Tactical timeout for Mousesports. Money's still there for somewhat of a buy. They could get 5 AKs and armor out. They just wouldn't have much to go with it. Maybe 3 smokes at the very most as we work out their next decision. They know the money's low on the Fnatic side of all the reinvestment of grenades. They just need that one round to push them over the edge. And it looks like the partial buy will be the approach chosen. Mac 10 for Carrigan again.
I do like how they have that Mac 10. Now, the question is where he goes this time. Last time we saw them bursting up arch, tried like through the smoke, which actually was an opportunistic play based off of the fact that JW, I believe, had sprayed all of his clip and was going for a reload or something like that. So maybe they had a different plan in that round that we might see play out here. It looks kind of scary, you know, like the CZs, the Deagle, the 2 Mac 10s, the nades. There's a lot to work with here for Mousesports. Politely closing the door.
So much utility for Mousesports. Can they have a plan already this early on? A plan that can be well executed for such a new team. Look, smoke out of the balcony position. Carrigan flying through with some flashbangs. Oh, that was some kind of, I don't even know, parkour karate in the pit position. That leaves Rops alone with, he has the bomb and he picks up a Mac 10 versus 4 players. I thought Carrigan was completely blind.
If he can get to the pit, there's a gun down in the corner, he knows that.
Yeah, whether that's accessible, I'm not so sure. He'll hold towards Boiler for now. Feeling like the Deagle is the better option than the Mac 10. Holding patiently for anyone hunting for information here. Sending towards middle. Gives the way at least one player's position. Twist not necessarily watching Boiler. Now he is. Should be able to get a kill, no problem. And there it is. 13-12. Fnatic looking to take us to a third, which is cash, bear in mind. As this is the play from Carrigan. Sees the flames, no problem. First flash in, second as well, completely blind. Lands on the head.
Beautiful.
Of Brolan. If he managed to win the round there and get like another kill, that would have been so sick. But
yeah,
just the one. Full bite as they go into run number 26 here. Mousesports, again, it's their T side. You can see that they're not as well versed, understandably so. It's the first showing ever of this Mousesports lineup. JW does miss a shot though. Takes a little bit of damage as the utility is exchanged. Oh, they want to run for those flames. Chris, what are you up to? Okay. Frozen wants to take 80 damage as well, it seems. So a couple of free kills, and the coordination, or lack thereof, starting to show from Mousesports.
Oh, for sure. Again, you want those fast flying rounds where they can get the pick, run in, play a post plant. That's where you want them. But Fnatic and their passive approach and their more drilled and well-versed approach, seemingly good. But an opportunity now as Rops gets a pick, and that will gain them some ground, cause some rotations. There's plenty of time left. They don't have to commit into this bomb site. They have a smoke and a flashbang remaining, which was just bare bones enough to go back to B, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, the scary thing here for Fnatic is they're down a man, and Mousesports could just be cutting noise and then being ready for a balcony burst or something like that. That could be on the cards. But no, they're going to keep it simple. Straight in for the B bomb site, and there's a trade. They might be able to do something here.
Well, has to be something quite magical at this point. You can see that double smoke towards spawn, communication a little bit off. Huge advantage, but not for long. What the hell was that from Robs? All of a sudden, they got a fighting chance here. If the AWP or JW made things a little bit more problematic. If Robs hits his shot, which he normally does, they're in a lot of trouble. JW on the sniper now. HP no longer a factor as it goes to absolute zero for him. That's all about Robs. That is nothing to do with strategy or anything else. That is just him playing like an absolute god. They double smoke spawn. They clumsily made their way in, but Robs hits absolutely everything. This is like, what is going on here? I don't know why on half HP you decide to run through like that, and then Frozen joins him almost there in the pits of hell as they get tagged. This is all the Robs show, though. Absolutely brilliant. The fact he starts hitting everyone so precisely as well is fantastic, and that's finally done it. They've broken the money, but only somewhat. There's that new priced Mag 7 coming out. Considerably cheaper than what it used to be. $3 grand you get. Shotgun, helmet, smoke, flashes. Not a bad little buy if you think about it. You've only got 3,000.
Mag 7 still betrays you just as much as it used to, though.
It depends. It can either be like lights out or really disappointing, right?
Yeah, it's rough. Robs is pretty nuts right now.
This is the best Robs I've seen in a long time. I know how good he can be,
Yeah.
but you rarely see him look this scary on the server. However, like 1 or 2 rounds, you're like, oh, that's why he's so good. Not every single round looking as convincing.
I think part of it as well is just not being in that, just like going to like traveling, because Mousesports was one of the teams that traveled by far the most, and it's just, and it was sad in a way because we never got to see as good of performances as we should have done from them because they just never had time to practice or be rested and recovered. And Fnatic are kind of experiencing that right now. Yeah. How hard it is if you don't have recovery time to play your best. And that feels terrible when you know you can do better.
Sure. Well, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. The crescendo of the series. Will Fnatic hold on? It's a B play. For now, at least the bomb there. You can see 2 players holding towards middle, either for a backstab or indeed the fake. Smoke, I believe, has a slight gap. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's fine. So there we go. CTs can hold on. Carrigan, UMP, both teams struggling financially here. If Mousesports find the killing blow at this point, that should be GG. Brolan in position to CZ, perfectly positioned, and Frozen doesn't even check it. No Molotov, there's no team play there. It's a very basic approach, and you can see they're being punished for it.
2 versus 4. It is falling to pieces for Mousesports. Woxic has collected the bomb and managed to escape 45 seconds, and this may be a telegraphed push to the B bomb site. However, no one's rotating just yet. We've got Woxic running up Banana. Oh, Chris J's timing is going to be absolutely brutal. That's a table punching moment for Exist. The smoke grenade just about hits CT, doesn't hit his teammate. And now there is a chance. Woxic planting the bomb. If he had been holding this angle towards CT, that could have been quite something, but Chris J, oh, they're both going to hold it.
Yeah, the bait and switch. So they want Voxy to take this first shot, hopefully nail it. They run in to try and trade him out, and then they're greeted by the Krieger Chris J. The problem is the pressure towards the bomb, so that makes things a little bit more problematic here. Here it comes, and Voxic is done for. He goes down, he'll actually get both kills here. So nice idea, gamble for sure, but Twist susses it out, takes him down. So there we have it. That was the big round. Fnatic win it with absolute bare bones there, shotguns and CZs, and usually on your defaults towards apartments you have a procedure, right? You Molotov that position, you flash it in, you pincer from the balcony and the steps to make sure that these single kills can't come through. Where's the apartment presence? Like Crim's has just got complete free reign as a player jumps up. It's clumsy. They did well to get the bomb down, Nice idea with the crossfire, but unfortunately Twist will shut them out. They've got another buy available though. Pendulum keeps swinging back and forth as we go into a double orb setup, this time for Fnatic to tie things up.
Yeah, just that extra money from the plant and also the extra money for extra $500 from the new economy system that we have in place since the last patch. Good damage on the Chris J. So this is really going down to the wire, isn't it? This is a must-win, I think, this map for Fnatic to have a chance at... Well, obviously they have to win it because they've already done a map, but... Mousesports should not be the favored team on this map. And they are struggling now they are on that T side. Looks like they are thinking about just hitting B, keeping it nice and sweet and simple.
Double smoking CT spawn.
Signs of a new team, I
Yeah,
guess.
they've done that twice already, so I'm just like, what is happening here?
Hopefully they can fix it in review. That's the worst of their problems. It's a good sign. Pop flash waiting. Wonder what Fnatic make of 2 smoke grenades going over. Got to believe there's an execute and it's not a fake.
Yeah.
Crim's rotating in CT. Is there a support flashbang? He has got a flash. It's being deployed. And Exist is going to get blind. He's unable to look away, but he get the kills regardless. Crim's creeping through the smoke for 2 kills. Exist still there as well. And Woxic in a 1 versus 2. Doesn't CJW. And that's going to be that.
They double smoke it, and they're still god-awful. Like, there's a massive gap, and the guy just runs through. And, like, actually gets an advantage from the 2 smokes they put down there.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that couldn't have got any worse for them, really. You can see, yes, you're right, James. Yeah, absolutely a new team, but those are the pretty core fundamentals. If that was happening in a Facey game I was playing, I'd be mad. So if it's happening here, like that certainly says something. So there you go. It's not going well. Fnatic looking like they're going to close this one out. It's a T side is a real problem for Mousesports here. Mac 10s pretty much across the board. Robs with the CZ, but these are the rounds they probably win, you know, because they can just call the Hail Mary, go for the rush somewhere, somehow it'll work out, and we'll see if that's the case.
3 rounds on the T side for Mousesports. It was only 4 for Fnatic. CT dominant game so far. Quadruple Mac 10. And a CZ75 for man like Rops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flashbangs. So surely it's going to be a fast play. Don't see grenades thrown from there every day. Flashes will take the short player away, but Crims has done glorious work. A Molotov kill and a nice spray of the M4A4. 3 versus 5. This push has been neutered already. Re-smoke of the apartments, and Mousesports will just have to bide their time and die slowly, 1 by 1. Death by paper cuts in round 29. Lovely flick from JW. That leaves Rob standing in a smoke with a CZ. And we are asking a lot of him, it has to be said.
Yeah, not really much can be done with this. They'll get potentially 1 kill here, but not even that. Fnatic have brought it right back. They were 11-4 down at half, but their CT side, after winning both pistols as well, bear in mind, have been excellent. We will see them into round number 30 of a huge advantage here. Could we see overtime again? That's the question.
I'm calling it, yeah. I think it's going to happen.
Well, if they can at least coordinate their smokes, Mousesports might be onto something. That's been a bit of an issue for them.
Yep. It's kind of nuts. This game is so strange because of that new team dynamic. Obviously, you know, Rob's playing so well. Also, like 34 kills at this point. It's not too shabby. Closest on the other team is 27 on JW, 26 for Crims. Rob's has been a standout, really pulling Mousesports up by the bootstraps and trying to drag them into a win on this map. But there we go. There's a smoke. Looks like it's good, I think.
CT1 not so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes those smokes are, I mean, that one definitely isn't, but sometimes those smokes have a gap on purpose to bait someone
Allow the
into
AWP to sit there.
a bad peak, but that one is not supposed to be like that. But they might wonder if it is.
Fnatic already know this is going to be B. That's the only real choice for Mousesports.
Yeah, Mousesports are getting control, but they just have no presence elsewhere on the map. It is very technical. Got 3 CTs there now, and this will be Molotovs towards new boxes. This one towards Emo as well. We'll see. The response is just a little bit too obvious. There's no way of even breaking through now. You've dropped a lot. You've still got 2 smokes here, but it's just very obvious. This should be a Fnatic round here. Crim's not even checked on the boost. He's got a killing range in front of him. How he gets away with so much, I don't know, but overtime back on the cards here in a 3 versus 2. Brolan and JW to answer back.
All right, it's going to be a tough one. JW picks up a rifle, and the boost comes in. Is this too obvious? Are there too many players to watch out for this? Maybe not, actually, because, oh, Christian, he will peek it with the Krieg after all, leaving Brolan alone. We'll have to flash his way through, and overtime it is. 15-15, Mousesports and Fnatic. Would you believe it? Right at the end, Mousesports keep themselves in the match.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a sloppy finish as well from both teams, I have to say. We are going to take a break before overtime continues, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
But when you promised me forever, I should have known it was a lie. But you always know what to say, and I always end up this way. Me wrapped around your finger when you do the things you do. You got me wrapped around your finger.
Would you believe it? It's overtime once again. Fnatic have brought it right back after being 11-4 down. Mousesports not looking as synergized as you would like on the T side of Inferno, but they've managed to reset everything. JW's got a shotgun in the first round of overtime. James, thoughts?
It's JW. I wouldn't expect anything less.
You wouldn't expect anything other than a Mag 7 in the first round.
This is the personality
That's all you would expect.
of JW.
I don't want personality. I want wins.
I want personality.
I want W's.
It's been important for Fnatic since the beginning. Since the start.
I can
Henry of the Greers.
I can see why he's done it, just because if you go for a one and done in the apartments, you can swap out for a gun, pick up a gun of a teammate like that. It's possible, and you save some money so that you can bring out the AWP guaranteed in the 2 following rounds, no matter what. Maybe that's the thought process behind it, because it's so cheap. But yeah, could be a problem. We'll see. The Mag 7 is notoriously unreliable. And here goes Rops. He's been hot, very hot in the last couple games so far. And there you go. Well, it will betray JW. The Mag 7. Rops will get himself a clean headshot. One more player actually in the apartments. I wonder if Rops, in fact, 2 players still in the apps. Fnatic had a whole setup around that shotgun. It's not really come to fruition though.
It really hasn't, no. It's actually gone disastrously wrong. It couldn't have been a worse start for them, to be honest. Lost the first pick.
Well,
Lost
he did
mid
30
control.
damage, Henry, be fair.
Yeah, sorry. He did do 30 damage.
33 seconds remain for Mousesports to push this A site, it seems, but the bomb is moving up mid and is being taken out. Brenner gets shot in the back, though. He has been betrayed. Moving through the smoke, 4 players on the A bomb site. Do the remaining 2 Fnatic players go for this? Is this really something they can expect to come out with a good result of? No. Twist will continue forward, however. Perhaps the money is fine regardless, and there's nothing to lose. 1 versus 3 at this point after taking out the first player. There is potential for a double pick. There it is. Absolute synchronization. Absolutely synchronized.
Synchrony is a nice one,
there we go.
Synchronous.
Synchrony, I don't know. Anyway, Mousesports have taken the first round.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw a spanner in the works there. You got your best player, JW, 27 kills, and he goes on the shotgun for the first round. But Dan made a point that he'll have some extra money, so he can buy the AWP in the next round at least. So that's happened.
So fine, everything's
we'll
fine.
see if he can bounce back. He's been hitting some great shots. It just didn't make any sense to me. He's been doing great work with the AWP. So is Twist. So they're really mixing things up. As Twist was main AWPing for them on the CT side in regulation, with JW taking a backseat in that department. Now they're changing everything from things that worked. They've decided to mix it all up in overtime. So fair play to him. Let's see if it works out.
Very nice nade there from Twist. Forward hold in the apartments once again from Fnatic. And Twist will get challenged. My goodness. Chris only took 10 HP of damage or something like that. 20 HP of damage. And the headshots are just flying all across the map here from the T side. JW has to be excellent in this round. Now, he's got himself the AWP, of course, but he's got so many players. The close range shotgun AWP, he's known for it, but he cannot bring it to bear in this round. It exists now, slowly walking away.
Yeah, they've actually got no money for the final round either. They spend most of it. So
That's what I was thinking when those last 2 players pushed in the first
Yeah,
round. I
it's-
think this is...
MR310K, you actually have to be cognizant of it. You have to make sure you don't get helmets. You only get a couple of kits. If you do lose a round, you are in trouble. And even with saving the extra cash on the shotgun, buying the AWP and the follow-up, with everything, all the bells and whistles, all the kits, the utility, it's cost him everything. So a series of unfortunate events here. And if Exist goes down, they will have nothing. He's been tagged. He's going to be dropped now. 2-0. Likely to be 3 considering the financial situation, but sometimes that's the way it goes down. Crim's 26 kills. CZ, JW back on the shotgun. Can he find a bit more of a fruitful outcome as the auto shotgun comes out as well? So it's a cheesy round for Fnatic. See if this is where they can get 1 round on the board as we enter the final round in the first half of overtime. Mousesports almost destined for 3-0.
Oh, crikey. That is a bad buy, isn't it?
It's not great.
If only they'd saved those rifles. Crims walks into a barbecue. No shoes on. In the hospital now.
In the morgue.
And they wait. Where's that molly gone? Okay, it's on the corner. Twist is going to get 2 kills out of this and hold the position. No one is close enough to trade. This is a very unlikely turn of events with the worst possible buy, the best possible result. Looking at the last 2 rounds, of course.
Yeah. They didn't have an AWP, but Voxic assisted them with an AWP headshot. 3-on-2. No rifles recovered. I'd still give a slight edge to Frozen and Robs here. Robs has got 36 kills, bear in mind. Frozen 23. And there's 1 player waiting at B. That's going to be Twist. He's already got a couple of kills to his name. Surely can't find another. Gets the dink. That's enough at least. It's not all lost at this point. JW trying to get rid of that shotgun. He's just got a USP right now. And now the AK-47. He's coming in swinging from B. Fires off some shots. Nothing connecting.
Roland pre-firing. He heard the reload, but he can't punish it. JW now in a crossfire situation. Does not know where the second player is, but he can have a estimate of likelihood, but there's no guarantee, of course. Trying to avoid the crossfire. Frozen finishing things off, and that's 3 match points for Mousesports on Inferno.
All the T rounds.
All of
suddenly.
them. Yeah.
Rops is an animal. This is good karma because he hosted me last night.
Did he
gave
really?
me 1,400 viewers.
That's not bad.
Man like Rops.
What's been your peak?
Huh?
What's the peak you've ever had in
Ever had?
yeah,
I don't know.
a usual James Bardolph CS game?
I don't know. I have front page rotation, so
Nice.
sometimes it's a fair bit, but I have no idea. Anyway, 3 match points for Mousesports. Can Rops close it out? What a day for him.
Yeah, it'd be nice to close it out with a 2-0 victory now after the work he's put in, the man hours.
Yeah, but it only takes them 1 step forward.
Ooh,
They've got to
that's
finish things off on Thursday.
quite the advantage.
Yeah, look at this peak. Yeah, no, you can't stop that. I mean, he takes a lot of damage from the nades, but that's worth
Yeah, he's
it.
got an AWP, it's all good.
Wow, that's such a sick timing. It's really cool, like, for me, like, when that, you know, I accidentally get on someone's heads and get a run boost by accident at the beginning of a game, and I'm, like, taking the peak every single time.
Yeah, especially with Chris
it's,
J.
But it's really cool that they just set that up. Really easy setup to have on this map as well.
Chunk.
Yes. Oh no, it's so awkward here for Fnatic. They lose this round, they're done. That's it. See you next week. And they already lose 1 player immediately. That's not a good look. Rotating all the way back to A, though, they found there is actually a window of timing where this could be very strong, just because it's only Rops here with Woxic, but they have been dangerous.
Only. He's got 36 frags, Dan. What are you talking about? And Karrigan's joined them as well. So everything is covered. They await the push. Woxic, we've seen multi-frags from here before. There's the first one. Spots the second player. Misses the shot, though. Crim's taking him out. Rops can't do anything this time. Maybe it is only. And Karrigan will be here to save today and leave Crims in a 1 versus 2. Long rotation for Chris J and Frozen.
Crims with no utility. He'll have to ace this round to keep Fnatic alive. That kill should be landing, no problem. That's a low HP player. Frozen now catches him on the jump. That's going to be GG. Good attempt there. Crims did absolutely everything he could, but it wasn't quite enough. Mousesports denied the 3rd map, and they take it 2-0. So well played to them. The new look Mousesports as well. Lots of power, lots of talent in this team, but obvious holes in their setups as well. Their T sides need a lot of work, but their individual skill certainly doesn't. Rob's playing some career best CS there, I have to say, and that's saying something. His skill looks unbelievable right now. He looks ravenous. He's ready for a new challenge. He wants to make this team the best. They were close to it in the previous Mousesports lineup, but this looks deadly. The backup from Voxic as well in the AWP, the in-game leadership of Karrigan. Once that has some time to come together, this could be a dangerous team, and Fnatic, we will kind of give them the benefit of the doubt here. They landed from China about 10 hours ago. A rough tournament. I don't think they had any practice or warm-up coming into this one. Bad first map. They took the second one to overtime, and they will be released from the second week here at ECS Season 7. Understandably so, they'll have another chance to come back and make their way to the finals.
Yeah, can't wait to see this Mousesports lineup when they get some time to build some T sides to their game, and you can see Rob's here with all that damage. He slowed down quite a lot towards that, you know, going into that T half, but you know where he was comfortable, the CT side, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, 36 kills, and just the 1 tap that was coming out, the confidence, everything was just looking so good. A great game, a great time, and that's the end of the European division of ECS Season 7. We have plenty more Counter-Strike action coming your way. I believe we can definitely have a look at the graphics so far and see where that leaves us as we finish off things here at Europe. And before we move on to North American, I think we're just on schedule, a little bit behind. Here's what the bracket looks like right now. It'll be North and Avangard taking place tomorrow. It's along with Mousesports and Vitality as well. So any other interesting results? Vitality did 2-0 LDLC. That was about as interesting as it got. That was pretty understandable, really. But it sets things up quite nicely as the week continues. And that will be it, actually, from the EU division. We have to go to the NA boys now, and we'll take a break and be back with that very shortly. So give us a few minutes. We'll be back looking much different, ready for a North American broadcast. We'll see you there.